Hi, my name is Yuria Min. I am the director of the Littman Family Prize and Fellows Program here at Wharton in the McNulty Leadership Program, running a annual Global Social Impact Prize and graduate fellowship. I just joined that team in June, and so previously I was running the Masters of Public Administration program, also here at Penn, a block away at the Fels Institute of Government. Previously, for several years, I was working with the undergraduate program here at Penn, the Fox Leadership Program, helping students identify, develop, and apply their unique skills and interests in placing fellowships and experiential learning opportunities in public service and research. And prior to that, I was working at the School District of Philadelphia here, managing a couple different programs in operations, specifically in procurement and then transportation. Me and my teammate, the program manager for the Littman Family Prize, we really see ourselves as wanting to model what a high-performing team is. So we actually use this a lot. Like, we talk about Drexler Civic, the Drexler Civic model of high-performing teams. It talks about you have this bouncing ball where you're starting with why are we here? Like formation, team formation, and then who are we as people, building that trust before we get to, okay, now what are we gonna do together, and then how are we gonna do it, and then reflecting back on that. I can be very task focused. A lot of what we talk to our students about is, everything that we do is interweaving task and relationship, our loop intertwined together. And if we want to be successful on the task, we have to focus on the relationship too. Otherwise, a lot of the things that could be going wrong might be because a task or the relationship wasn't acknowledged or built. The DISC personality model, it very simply, it shows, it's kind of a simple way to see how people prefer to work with each other, or just work generally. I'm very fast-paced, task-oriented, and she's very slow-paced, people-oriented. We're exact opposites, but we share here value for conscientiousness, which is being detail-oriented, logistics, operations, getting stuff done. And so we have some overlap, but for the most part, we're very different. She loves celebrating things. That's a value of hers. She's steadiness, stability, wanting to honor people and celebrate, creative. She's those are all her strengths, and she appreciates people well, and she appreciates being appreciated, and she sees milestones. So one of the things that helps is that we share our preferences, and so she tells me if that she prefers celebrating, and she points out to me times when you did this, when you gave me a high five in a silly way because you wanted to celebrate this one thing, that I loved that, that showed me something, and then I have to then remember that, and then I have to uncomfortably high five her again, you know what I mean, even though I would never think to do that, I know that I want us to be successful, and that is how she wants us to run. The office had a tradition, a model of taking in something that they learned from the military, in that after any particular mission or any project that we're executing, we do after action reviews, which is really answering just 4 questions. What do we intend to happen? What actually happened? Why did it happen? And then what learnings can we take from it? So it allows for openness and natural opportunity to give feedback in a way that is about the project or the mission, rather than about a particular person. So, if someone gives me any feedback about we should do this differently next time, I think great, that's a good suggestion. Nowadays, the things that we talk about with our students is being a good teammate is about being able to give feedback, but also how do we give feedback in the way that sees people's strengths first. So I think now I see it as okay, my strength is efficiency, wanting things to be done well, high quality, but then when I'm in a stressed situation, its strength's gone too far. So how do we manage what strength are we using when and to what degree, is something we're constantly talking about. So I think that's something I need to be aware of.